Well, hey there. My name is Dan, and I'm a music teacher about to listen to Yakuza 0 original soundtrack for the very first time. Join me as we have fun. We're going to discover some hidden connections. We're going to learn a little bit about music. And like I said, hopefully have some fun along the way. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling. Welcome. If you're joining us, we're going to be starting with... with a vengeance. All right, let's do this thing. I believe, unless we're starting, so I think we were supposed to start with Oath of Enma, actually, is what we're supposed to be starting with, if I'm not correct. Yeah, thanks, team. All right, here we go. This was a really, really tasteful track. I loved from beginning to end. But look, from this drop at the beginning. And yes, I will start writing down time codes so we don't have to do this in the next one. Oh, right there, just with that piano. Ah, sick. And then in the middle of the guitar solo, I put that in parentheses. Solo instrumental. Right there. Like, what? In your right headphone. Like that. Like that, the one they had there was it was squealing a little bit more. There we go. Like, that's called a false harmonic or a pinch harmonic. And to throw that in there, because that's overdub. So it's like you have the guitar part playing, and then someone in the recording session was like, hey, let's go back and add in a pinch harmonic right here. Like, delightfully unexpected, like maybe a pine nut in a salad where you didn't think there was going to be pine nuts. You're like, oh, there's a pine nut. How nice. Let's keep this thing going with Firelight. Well, Firelight, very tasteful, lots of fun, interesting things going on. Something to note about both Enma and Firelight is that they had a lot of, well, one flat 6, flat 7 going on in and around them. Now, that being said, Firelight differentiated itself by having some flat 2. Ooh. Oh, again, I'm paraphrasing here. Just to show you the effect of the flat 2, as opposed to having, let's say, the natural 2. Yeah, still a little threatening, but not quite as. Yeah, but nah, it's not the same as. There you go. So the difference there is that the second note in the scale, if we think about music as belonging to a scale, and indeed this is framing music not in an emotional way, but in a mathematical way, we could think about it. Oh, this note right here, here's our first one, here's our second, here's our third, fourth, and fifth. And so 1, 2 versus 1, 2. There you go. All right, let's check out With Vengeance. Or 41 with Vengeance. I'm a decade away from that. That's okay. Okay, this is really, really cool. Not only was this a, shall we say, fire tune. I'm hip with the kids. But also, the time signature is very interesting, and the way this is written is very interesting too. So, in what we could call Western music, we have essentially two groups. Well, three. We have three groups of the way time or rhythm is presented in music. The first is called simple meter. Not simple as in it's easy, it's just called simple. The next is called compound. And then after that, we'd have something called odd meter. So odd meter would be things like 5, 7, 11, 13, things like that would be odd meter. Now, we're not going to talk about odd meter in this instance. We're going to talk about the difference between simple and compound, because in understanding the difference between simple and compound, we're going to be able to actually see that this song, this piece of music with vengeance, actually lies in this sort of no man's land between the two. So, in simple meter, every single beat is divided into two equal parts. Those two equal parts are divided into 4 subdivisions. So we have 2 divisions, 4 subdivisions. In compound meter, each beat is divided into 3 divisions and 6 subdivisions. Now, what's interesting is typically when there are 6 beats in each measure, and for measure, you could think about this as the place where it feels like the music is coming back around again. So, for example, every time I'm pointing down, you can feel that there's this thing where it's almost like a wheel comes back around again. You know? And every time we get to that measure, there's 6 things that happen. There's 6 beats. And typically, if there's 6 beats or 6 pulses or 6 moments where we can really think, oh, there's 6 divisions happening here, typically the time signature would be 6/8. Now, here's the thing. The time signature for 6/8 actually means that there's 2 beats in the measure. And I know this is getting really, this is like some of the things about music where it's like, I wish I could take a time machine. Some people say they would take a time machine to go do stuff with Hitler. I might like take a time machine, like maybe go do stuff with Hitler and then like fix some stuff about the way we talk about music, because some of it's like unnecessarily confusing. So in the time signature of 6/8, there aren't 6 divisions. There aren't 6 beats. There's 6 divisions. There's actually 2 beats, and it's compound. So the 2 beats are divided into 3 equal parts, and we're actually acknowledging the 3 divisions as opposed to the number of beats when we say 6, which in and of itself is ridiculous. But there you go. It's what we're doing. So what's interesting about this music is that, yes, there are 6 moments of application. There's 6 pulses. There's 6 things that you would, bop your head up and down to. But those 6 are divided into 2 equal parts each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to say and is a musical way of acknowledging that second division. So there are 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and that gets us 12, which really we're saying, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as our main unit of counting, right? Okay, so here's the thing. Western music does not really account for there being 6 beats in a measure and it being simple meter, that it's divided into 2 divisions. Each beat's divided into 2 divisions. So, time signature for this, more likely, is actually going to be 4/4 plus 2/4. And I'm going to write this in the chat so you can see what it would look like. So it would actually look like 4/4 plus 2/4. And I'll tell you why I would argue for this. And by the way, if you get 2 other people who know a little bit about music theory, they might disagree and have another opinion, and we might have a whole discussion about that, which is one of the fun things about using music theory in music. So I'm not saying that my interpretation here is 100% watertight, but my interpretation does get the job done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So it's possible that there was some sort of time signature equation the composer used for this. It's also possible that the composer wrote this whole thing with a time signature of 6/8, and instead of going in compound meter, decided to write 6/8 in simple meter. Like, there's no music theory police who are going to show up at your door if you do that. The world does not end. There's not some, there's not like some guy eating biscuits and drinking coffee, and all of a sudden this like red light on the wall starts flashing like, rah, rah, rah. Oh no, someone's taken the compound time signatures, and treating the beat divisions like beats and dividing them to two equal parts. Like, sure, you can do it. But I thought it'd be interesting to understand how this piece of music actually lies between what we could think of as being simple and compound, but really we could think of it more accurately as simple because each beat is divided into two equal parts. And then we could think about it as a time signature equation. So a measure of 4/4 plus a measure of 2/4, and that's how the piece is written. Okay. Let's keep this going with Archnemesis. Okay. I have questions. My question is, in Archnemesis, what we have is... have this flat 2 thing, which I remarked on a couple of compositions ago. Chat, help me out. Do you remember the name of which tune it was where I was talking about the flat 2? Was that perhaps With Vengeance? Was that perhaps Oath of Enma? Help me out. Let me know in the chat which tune it was, because I surely do not recall the name. They say have a memory of a goldfish, and I did it right. Thank you, Dark Knight Spider. Okay, so in Firelight, guys, we hear this flat 2, and if I'm not incorrect, this is the first time that we've heard this flat 2 note be featured in this OST. So my next logical question is there a connection between Firelight and Archnemesis? And if so, what is that connection? Is there some character that we find hints of in Firelight that shows up in Archnemesis? Do we meet or first hear of the character that shows up? No connection. So strange. Okay. Not really. Says Chris. Okay. All right. So that could just be a musical coincidence, like when we had the parallel major and minor over in Xenoblade 3 in a town theme, and I was like, something crazy is about to go down. I was like, no, it's just a town theme. It happens. Okay. Let's go ahead. And check out Two Dragons. Ha! That was really cool. Anyways, I want to go back and grab this riff because it's throwing me for a loop. I don't know why. It's pretty straightforward. Ah. All right, that's really cool right there. If you don't mind. Sick riff right there. And this whole piece feels to me really like a culmination, a finale. We haven't heard anything with this much energy in it for the entire OST. This is certainly a peak in terms of the amount of drama and power going on inside of the music. And a couple things to point that out to you. Number one, the guitar that's being used. Previously, I think the lowest we heard a guitar go was a drop C. This goes a whole step lower than that, down to a B flat. Now, the fact that it goes lower doesn't in and of itself give more energy, but it's kind of a cool point to bring up. Let's see what else we got. It's like we get to hear, even in these moments where you have these barilia going on in the strings, like go gong, go gong, go gong, go gong. Underneath it with the guitar is sick. So much drama. So much drama. Just that repeated up going on in the strings over and over again, repeating that figure, repeating something builds tension in the same way that the lower ideas build tension, like the it also builds tension when you that also builds tension. And so having these repeated ideas that go over and over again builds, increases tension, especially when other things happen against those repeated ideas. And interestingly, right there, the guitar went high and the strings came low. Ah, really awesome stuff. Let's see what everyone says in the chat. Archnemesis and Two Dragons are themes used for both final bosses, says Dark Knight Spider. SlobbyXE said this is the most power-dominating part in the entire game and has parallels to the early fighting themes, too. Okay. Let's keep this thing going. We're going to check out Reign, as in R-E-I-G-N, Reign. As in, and he shall reign forever and ever. If you're a fan of Handel. Can you get a handle on it? Hang on, there's one chord in here I was missing. Oh. Okay. So that chorus right there is really cool. Now, I am in drop D. I don't know if you noticed while that song was playing. I was kind of looking over my guitar and twirling some knobs and twiddling some things to actually bring my lowest string down to a D. And so the chords in this chorus are really cool. So it's like D or a D5. It's like an E flat to a C5, back to D. Back to E flat, A, C, add 4 to E flat, back to D. And those are the chords of that chorus, which is really cool. If you don't mind, guys, I actually want to play that again. That's just really fun. It's a really cool chorus. No E flat is for the second start. E flat, C5, D, C sus4, E flat. Really cool stuff. Now, oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, I interrupt this programming with a channel first. Spectre First just upgraded to the highest level of membership tier, I believe. It's been so long since I made it, no one took it previously. Everyone's been on the previous tiers. I even forgot what it was called. Spectre First just upgraded membership to Dan Does What I Say level tier membership. Woo-wee! Thank you for your support, Spectre First, and have fun. There's a poll on right now in the members area. Go vote for that. Because, boy, you've got some weight to throw around. That's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to see what you vote. Thank you, Spectre First. It is an honor. Okay. Yeah, so really, really cool chorus here. We'll get back to Spectre First when we do the super chats at the end. But, like, guys... so cool. Really, really cool stuff. And also, just to point out, too, it's the two different ways that the E flat are played here is part of what makes it really cool. So the first time, the E flat is low, and then C is like sort of medium high, and then back to D. I find my C sus4. Then this second E flat here is all the way up here, whereas the first E flat was down here. And this first E flat really an E flat 5, and this here being an E flat major. Really cool stuff. Really enjoyed this chorus, and a lot of fun to play. Very cool, guitaristically speaking. Also musically speaking. All right, now, as indicated in the chat, y'all want to hear this Rain game version. Let's check it out. Sorry. Oh, I was having so much fun there. Yeah, well, okay, that was really cool. I enjoyed both the Rain and the Rain game version. We're going to run a quick poll because I'd like to hear from you guys what you think. Which was your preferred? Which was regular type? Okay, which Rain was it? Regular type? What is even regular? Regular type or Gamever. Okay, let's check out ending credits, Western version. I can go wherever and do whatever I want to do. I'm reading what it says on the screen. Like, why this guy standing in the street with his shirt off having a conversation, I'm not sure, but his pants are cool. Now, really cool here at the end is, all right, first of all, that was a beautiful piece of music. Also, really sort of final, bringing everything back together. Also interesting because, you know, sometimes we have OSTs that go like super duper extra double fudge chocolate hard. Like, it's like chocolate ice cream with chocolate chips and chocolate sprinkles and fudge sauce and chocolate brownie bits and double chocolate chip cookies all put into one thing with like a side of chocolate. And it's like so much. And like, think about like the Doom OSTs, right? And I'm not comparing this to Doom. What I'm saying is when you have these OSTs that have this really high bar of like energy and there's this rock element, these metal elements going on, it's very interesting to see how even at the end, the sort of, you know, pop song, we're tying it all up, emotional moment, still has a little bit of punch to it. No pun intended. Here in this Yakuza 0 original soundtrack. Now, to bring your attention to something here at the end, this is, wow, amazing. There's this reverse sound here. This is a really cool texture. So you have, it's like piano with maybe a xylophone, not a xylophone, glockenspiel put together. Or maybe like a bell sound, you know, audio unit or VST. Type a 2 in the chat if you can hear those reversed sounds underneath it. Type a 2 in the chat if you can hear them there, reversed sounds. Oh, beautiful. Y'all are hearing it. Now, that brings up interesting questions around what does that reverse sound mean? Yeah, the keys, Chris. Good ears. So, great ears, by the way, everyone who just typed a 2 in the chat. What does it mean to have this reverse sound here? Maybe there's meaning, maybe there isn't. Like before, I was like, oh my gosh, guys, there's a flat 2. And then you guys were like, yeah, well, there's no connection there. Sometimes I think it's going to mean something, and it doesn't actually mean diddly squat. So, yeah, ping pong, something to do with time, something to do with, yeah, time, calling back to something, perhaps. Now, that being said, I don't think we have enough votes here to constitute statistical significance. Oh, the vote's still coming in. What we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to go check out some bonus tracks from this here. Oh, this game is a prequel, so the whole game is calling back something. Yeah, so maybe, thank you, Mercu, that this is, in fact, representing the sort of time placement. We've gone back to the future, Marty. Okay. All right, let's check out some of these here bonus tracks, y'all. I see there's 47 bonus tracks in total. We'll see how we go. All right, we're going to start with Are You Listening? Kiryu, Substory track. Oh. There we go. Got it. Let me tune my guitar real quick I want to play along. This is a really cool riff. I really like this riff. This is a great riff. Oh, I was flat as a snail on a highway. Okay. No. Is that it? No. Yeah, that is it. That was a lot of fun. So what's happening there? We're in the key of E. E major, E minor, Mixolydian kinda. And so we're doing E5 to D5 to A. Essentially, this is implying 4 in first inversion. Back to the D, and then we go up to the 4, just like a blues. Then now, there we go. And then we basically repeat the whole thing up a 4th, and then we come back down to E, and then it was a. It goes 5 to 4, back and forth. Oh, these are all part of the OST? All right, well, fair enough. Well, we may not do them all today. Okay, let's check out You Need Me to... What? Sorry. You Need Me to... What? Well, that's pretty fun. That's hanging out again in that Dorian place. going to a 4, back to a 1. You know, there's a funny Venn diagram of like bonus sub-story tracks for different games where it's like the composer like, yeah, we'll just do a blues. Found me under a bridge. They brought me home and fed me chicken noodle soup. I remember that day, even though I didn't have object permanence at the time because I was a baby. But now everything's better, and I know things exist when I close my eyes. Objects exist even when I close my eyes. Object permanence. Object permanence. That was a remix I like to call Object Permanence. This next one's called A Job Well Done. Are you okay? Are you okay, Amy? Amy, are you okay? Are you okay? Hee hee hoo. Hoo hoo, yeah. Okay, well, that was fun. By the way, whenever I say hee hee hoo, I'm doing my not fully committed Michael Jackson impression. Hee hee hoo. Hee hee hee. It's called Dan Doesn't Feel Like Singing That High Today. Hee hee hee. All right, real quick. Scale of 1 to 5. 5 being amazing, spot on. 1 being like, please don't ever do it again. Please rate my Michael Jackson impression. All right, get ready in the chat. If you're watching this on demand, type this in the comments. Rate this Michael Jackson impression on a scale of 1 to 5. You ready? It's going to be uncanny. It's going to be uncanny. You ready for this? Hold, wait. Here it is. Hee hee hee. I got a 3 from Faded. Glenn says 10. over 9,000, 15, 4, 3, 4. Oh, 6 from Simply Superb. Blood gives it 4. At least 5. Oh, 7 divided by 35. 7 out of 35. Thanks, Maximiliano. Okay. All right, let's keep this thing going with Rush, 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 Rush. 8-ish. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a time challenge. You want to know how I know this is a time challenge? Not just because the name is Rush, 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 and from there we can extrapolate, I mean, a lot. But if you hear the way that the music gets higher and higher and higher, kind of like, you know, the end of a Celine Dion song, it's called modulation, and that ups the energy and brings us to this place like, oh, something's happening, something's happening. So, oh, you could also think about that. Well, it didn't get faster, it got higher. I was thinking about, you know, if we go back and play Super Mario, the music actually got faster when you had 1 minute left. It's pizza time. It's pizza time in the city. Hey, by the way, I did a interview. Classy Jitto was very, very kind to come onto my podcast and do an interview. So go check that out on the @MusicMentorDan channel here on YouTube. All right, speaking of pizza, now I'm hungry. Let's check out Between Calmness and Confusion. Better than being between a rock and a hard place. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got one little fight, my mom got scared. She said, you're moving with your auntie and Uncle Bel-Air. I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said fresh, and there were dice in the mirror. If anything, I would say this cab was rare, but I said, forget it, yo, home to Bel-Air. Pink Panther. Called it. Called it. Not only am I demonstrating memorization skills, in fact, I'm surprising myself the most, perhaps you as well, with my precognitive abilities. Indeed, I am seeing the future a moment before it happens. Indeed, like a Jedi with double vision, seeing blaster fires coming to them while they are also in the present moment, which they've never shown us in movies, which is like, come on, you write about it in the books, it sounds so cool, show us what it looks like. Dave Filoni, come on, man. I mean, that came out very aggressive. Dave Filoni, would you please? Please. Jon Favreau, would you please? Pretty please. Ever so much. Would love to see what it looks like from a Jedi's perspective when they are using that double vision thing where they're seeing a couple moments into the future. Would be really cool. Please. Yeah, so this is really cool. This is going back to, let's see. Part of what makes this sound, a little naughty is the type of music. Because this type of music has been used for burlesque and other type activities where, those trumpets with the mutes in that are growling, all that stuff, the saxophones. It starts off, I thought it was going to be the Pink Panther, and it wasn't. Like, I'm sorry, but like when you read the Star Wars novels, you have these moments where it's like you're in Darth Vader, like you're with Darth Vader, and he's like double vision, and then he's like seeing a thing before it happens, and then he's taking care of it, and it's like Palpatine's there with Darth Vader getting their lightsabers out and like bringing down ships with the Force, and it's like, show us some of that stuff in the movies and in the shows. Like, that's radically cool. Anyway, I'm sorry, back to Yakuza 0. Okay. That was fun. So, what we heard in that last one was interesting. That was actually some Indian influence, as in from India. It was really cool. Now, I'm not sure what's going on, but Hyper Defiance has, in all caps, suggested that I do the hustle. And if I could remember how to do the hustle, I surely would. I don't remember how to do the hustle. Like, I might be able to do an electric slide. I certainly couldn't do the mashed potatoes. Let's check out Rocket Nuts Groove. One of my favorite songs in the OST. That was fantastic. That was Finn. In fact, I would say it was fishy because it was phenomenal. Okay. In fact, the scales were off the chain. Pizza Tower. So why I said speaking of Pizza Towers, because literally there was a riff in Pizza Tower that was pretty close to something like... I forget what the exact riff was, but like that, it was also in the key of F sharp minor, if I recall correctly. So that's how I was bringing up the Pizza Tower there. So Yakuza, love it. Let's check out 52 at the rock bottom. So that was at the first bottom. This is at the rock bottom. wrong window. William Sutton says, it's sad they made these fantastic, unique songs for a minigame only a few people played. Wow. That one's pretty cool. Yeah, grunge. Yeah, grunge. So the interesting thing is that the first bottom is totally different than rock bottom. You went from like rock to grunge. Now we're in Purgatory, which I don't know if is lower than the rock bottom, but let's see what happens here. Okay, so Purgatory was technically lower. We went down to a C sharp, whereas rock bottom was D. So Technically speaking. Indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Going lower each time. All right, guys, let's do one more for today. This is called Interspace Garden, and then we will come back and finish the rest of this B-side here later. Here we go. Like next week. Here we go. Interspace Garden. Let's do this thing. I skipped Fiercest Warrior? Oh, so I did. I'm sorry, guys. Fiercest Warrior, here we go. Wait, but do you guys want to listen to Fiercest Warrior? Type a 2 in the chat if you want to listen to Fiercest Warrior. Mercu, Glenn, Amir, Hyper Defiance. Oh, there's a lot of people. And no one's playing jokes. That's funny, because last time I did a poll, some of y'all had some jokes. I was like, on a scale of 1 to 5, some of y'all were like 6. Haha. No one's playing now. I guess y'all are serious. Let's check this out. Fiercest Warrior version 0. Let's do this thing. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we did not skip that, because that was a hard hitting, heavy hitter, awesome, sauceum winner, chicken dinner of a tune right there. Fiercest Warrior, indeed, sounding fierce as ever. My name is not Sasha Fierce. Thought it was so cool when Beyonce did that. Ah, so cool. All right, we're going to read some super chats. And we're going to call it a day. We'll come back and finish this thing up. Next week, Jonathan's music. Thank you for subscribing, Kazoo Club member. Rubberman202 says another 20 smackaroos to help keep Super Mario RPG in the top 5. By the time I update the reaction list, this will be fun. Yoko Shimomura is a legendary video game composer. I'm sure you will love it. Noah Aldo says, hope the Yakuza OST has been to your liking. I'm excited to get to the karaoke and disco, also known karaoke. I'd love to boost the reaction to the Cuphead OST. And Spectre First, literally being the first ever on this channel at the membership tier of Dan Does What I Say. And I never do what people say, except here. So Spectre First, welcome, and thank you very much for your support. I look forward to seeing you in the members area and also to seeing what you decide to upvote for future reactions. So thank you all so very much for coming to join me today, and I will see y'all next time. Please hit like, subscribe, crush that notification bell. I do not run ads. My only ask is that you share this with someone else after I just asked you to like. Yeah. All right, so forget everything I said before. My only ask is that you share this with someone else. Thank you all so very much for hanging out, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care, and bye.